Imagine you're renovating your basement. You knock down a wall, and instead of pipes and insulation, you find a dark tunnel. You grab a flashlight, walk inside, and realize you haven't just found a secret room. You found an entire ancient city. Beneath the surface of the earth, totally hidden from the sun, are entire worlds carved entirely by human hands. We're not talking about tiny bomb shelters here. We're talking about massive, complex living environments built to escape invaders, survive extreme climates, and protect ancient secrets. Today, we are diving deep into the dark to explore 5 of the most mind-blowing ancient underground cities ever built. Let's get into it. First up is Derinkuyu in modern-day Turkey. Remember that guy knocking down his wall? That was in 1963, and he accidentally rediscovered this massive subterranean labyrinth that had been hidden for centuries. Derinkuyu translates to deep well, and it definitely lives up to the name. Plunging 85 meters, about 280 feet into the earth, this place is absolutely massive. It started way back in the 8th to 7th century BCE, possibly during the time of King Midas, and was later supersized by Byzantine Christians. The local rock in the Cappadocia region is volcanic tuff. It's soft enough to carve with ancient tools, but hardens like concrete when exposed to air. This region was a major crossroads for empires, meaning constant invasions by Persians, Arabs, and Mongols. When an army was spotted, entire populations would literally vanish underground within hours. And they didn't just survive down there, they lived in style. Derinkuyu could hold up to 20,000 people, plus their livestock. It had kitchens, wine presses, schools, chapels, and a genius ventilation system that pumped fresh air all the way down. To keep the bad guys out, they had massive circular stone doors that could seal off entire sections, like a bank vault. Just down the road from Derinkuyu is Kaymaklı. While Derinkuyu was a dramatic lost and found story, locals actually knew about Kaymaklı for centuries before it officially opened to the public in 1964.
Kaymaklı is slightly smaller, but it is a masterclass in defensive engineering. It is the ultimate trap. The builders intentionally carved the tunnels to be incredibly narrow and low. If invaders managed to break in, they'd be forced to walk single file and hunched over, making them easy targets for the defenders hiding inside. They embedded massive clay jars into the floors and walls to store tons of grain, oil, and wine. Like Derinkuyu, Kaymaklı was the ultimate panic room for early Christians hiding from Roman persecution and later Arab invasions. It was highly organized. Stables on the top floors, living quarters and churches in the middle, and storage at the bottom. Some researchers even think Kaymaklı and Derinkuyu might have been connected by miles of hidden tunnels. Let's leave Turkey and head over to France. Hidden beneath the quiet French countryside is the Naours Underground City. Naours has a completely different origin story. It didn't start as a city at all. It started as Roman limestone quarries back in the 1st to 3rd century CE. But during the Middle Ages, when Vikings were raiding and wars were ripping across Europe, the locals realized these abandoned quarries made the perfect hiding spot. They expanded the quarries into a massive shelter that could hold entire villages during events like the 30 Years' War. Naours was eventually forgotten until a local priest stumbled upon it in 1887. But the most chilling part? During World War I, soldiers visited these caves and carved thousands of their names into the walls. Today, Naours isn't just an ancient refuge. It's a living archive of human survival spanning centuries. Heading east into the deserts of Jordan, we find a different kind of subterranean genius, Petra. You probably recognize its iconic rock-carved facades from Indiana Jones, but Petra is so much more than a pretty surface. Built around the 4th century BCE by the Nabateans, Petra was lost to the Western world until a Swiss explorer, guided by local Bedouins, rediscovered it in 1812. Unlike the hidden bunker cities of Turkey, Petra's underground structures were built to conquer a brutal environment. The desert heat is unforgiving, so the Nabateans carved out massive underground cisterns and channels to catch and store every drop of rainwater, preventing it from evaporating. They carved deep into the rock to create naturally air-conditioned rooms, protecting both their people and their massive hordes of trade wealth from desert raiders. Petra proves that underground cities weren't always about hiding in terror. Sometimes they were about brilliantly adapting to the environment to build a booming ancient metropolis.
Finally, we head back to Cappadocia, Turkey for one more hidden gem, the Mazi Underground City. Dating back to the Roman period, Mazi is smaller than Derinkuyu or Kaymaklı, but it tells a super important story. It proves that living underground wasn't just a one-off extreme measure. It was a widespread lifestyle for people in this region. Mazi had multiple entrances, which tells archaeologists that it likely served as a shared sanctuary for several neighboring villages. When the alarm sounded, everyone from the surrounding area knew exactly where to go. It was more than just a hideout. Alongside the defensive rolling stone doors and food storage, they built tombs. This shows that life and death continued even when they were forced beneath the earth. As external threats eventually died down, people slowly moved back above ground for good, leaving Mazi perfectly preserved in the dark. From entire populations hiding from invading armies in Turkey, to medieval villagers dodging Vikings in France, to desert traders hoarding water in Jordan, these underground cities prove just how far humanity will go to survive. Which of these underground cities would you want to explore? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more historical mysteries, and I'll see you